Coming up on the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week.
Bundle up, old man winter isn't done with us yet. What to expect from this winter weather.
And then election season is in full swing. We'll have your student election preview.
And in perhaps the biggest game of the ACC regular season, see why the Heels were crying foul.
Plus a look at your Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
All that and more.
Carolina Week starts now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Good evening. You're watching the January 19th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Lydia Garlico.
And I'm Joe Mott. Well, if you poke your nose outside, you'll see that winter, it's finally here.
Just last week, students were outside in shorts and t-shirts enjoying the abnormally warm weather. But Wednesday, winter proved it hasn't forgotten about us.
The flurries started late Wednesday morning. By mid-afternoon, the snow got fierce and started sticking. Activities in the pit continued as usual as folks held protest signs and waited in line for free slice of pizza. Traffic began to slow and students scrambled for the bus as the weather intensified. The afternoon flurries made for slippery conditions and reduced visibility. Well, Courtney Robinson joins us now.
Courtney, what's going on?
Well, as you can see from that video, it's definitely not the time to be on those roads. It's so icy out there. In fact, on the way over here, our Jeep almost spun off the road. So definitely stay inside if you can, and I'll have more on that later in the show.
Well, thanks a lot, Courtney. Extreme weather means changes in routine. Well, the first question students ask is, will classes be canceled? These are the factors considered for closing school. Safety is the most important issue. Officials look at the rate at which snow falls and if there are also patches of black ice. They also consider whether predicted snowfall and the ability of transit employees to drive around safely.
The snow and below freezing temperatures are causing problems for campus construction. The weather postponed plans for a major street closing. The section of Cameron Avenue between Raleigh Street and South Columbia Street was slated to close for construction last Monday, but it looks like this cat will stay as cold as the temperatures. Department of Public Safety officials say if weather conditions improve, the end of Cameron Avenue near Raleigh Street will close to traffic Monday. Spokesman for Public Safety Randy Young says it's important that people keep up with construction schedule changes.
And letting folks know whenever this changes or whenever the construction moves, which end they need to access Cameron Avenue via.
For more information and updates, check out our website, carolinaweek.org. The snow and the falling temperatures have the homeless searching for a warm place to sleep. Some Chapel Hill residents are worried about just where the homeless will be spending their nights. The Interfaith Council, or IFC Homeless Shelter on Rosemary Street, is looking for a new, larger place to call home. But at last week's town council meeting, 20 residents of Legion Road entered a petition trying to block the IFC from moving to their neighborhood. Executive Director of the IFC, Chris Moran, says his organization is used to opposition from people who aren't comfortable with the idea of a homeless shelter in their neighborhood.
Anything that looks different is going to seem scary to some people. And our job is really to help educate as many people as we possibly can about who homeless individuals are, that they're just like you and me.
The town-owned land on Legion Road is next to the Chapel Hill Memorial Cemetery.
Well, election season is finally underway on Carolina's campus. On Wednesday, prospective candidates collected signatures, trying to secure a spot on this year's ballot. The blistery weather forced some to push the petitioning indoors to seek refuge. Candidates for student body president and CAA president must collect 800 signatures. Senior class president, vice president, and RHA candidates all need 350 signatures. But no matter what the office, all candidates have a busy month ahead. They have to have those signatures collected by Thursday. The qualifying candidates can then start their public campaigning next Monday. February 8th is Election Day. If no candidate receives a majority, there will be a runoff election February 15th.
Carolina Week will provide continuing coverage throughout the election process. On February 3rd at 7:30 p.m., we'll air a debate between the candidates for student body president. You can catch the election show on February 8th. It starts at 9 p.m. and ends when all the votes are in. And if there's a runoff election, we'll be here live on February 15th when your student body president is announced.
Governor Mike Easley is starting his second term as governor of North Carolina with a bang. Hundreds of people came to watch as Easley was sworn into office Saturday morning. The event took place outside the State Archives building in downtown Raleigh and featured a guest performance by Branford Marsalis. North Carolina native Andy Griffith also made an appearance. Easley beat out Republican candidate Patrick Ballantyne in November. Easley says during his next term as governor, he'll focus on improving the state's education system and North Carolina's recovering economy.
In North Carolina, we must educate our people to navigate the sea of change and set a new and better course for economic prosperity and security.
More music and a parade through downtown Raleigh followed the event. UNC Chapel Hill is ahead of the game when it comes to turning students into graduates.
According to the Education Trust, a nonprofit group, less than half of students at North Carolina colleges and universities graduate within 6 years of enrollment. North Carolina's ACC schools are all above average. At Duke, about 92% of students graduate within 6 years. At Wake, the 6-year graduation rate is about 87%. Here at UNC, it's nearly 83%. And at NC State, about 63%. Chancellor James Measer says he wants the university's rate to be at least 92%. Well, the first step towards graduation for incoming freshmen starts with summer reading. Wednesday morning, the Summer Reading Selection Committee announced its choice for this year's incoming class. The committee chose Blood Done Sign My Name by Timothy B. Tyson, a true story about the memory of civil rights struggles. Committee members say the book is engaging and honestly discusses racial tension. About 150 copies of the novel are on order at the Bull's Head Bookshop and should be in within a week. Downloading music at Carolina just got a little easier and much cheaper.
As Carolina Week's Sean Maroney shows us, your favorite songs are just a click away.
UNC freshman Sarah Wall is one of more than 1,100 students trying to decide the best way to download music legally.
Not sure what you want to hear?
A week ago, the university began sponsoring a trial period of 4 music providers: Ruckus Network, Napster, Rhapsody, and C-Digix. Student body president Matt Calabria says students should take advantage of what the university is offering.
We're allowed to use what are generally the premium services for the various service providers.
But limits do exist. The providers are offering tethered downloads, meaning you can only listen free to songs through the program. If you want to download a song and put it on a CD or a portable player like an iPod, you must purchase them through the provider.
Gene Smythe, UNC's Director for Computing Policy, says this period will determine whether the university adopts discounted downloads.
I feel that if it's something that the students really enjoy and buy into, and if it's affordable, that it could be something that really is an enhancement to student life at Carolina.
Smythe says off-campus students are not eligible because of technology limitations. She says the university plans to resolve these, but that she is hesitant to say when. Wall says no one on campus should miss this opportunity.
I think it's definitely worth trying it out to see how well you like it.
On that note, I've got some songs to listen to. Logging on in Chapel Hill, I'm Sean Maroney, Carolina Week.
Students can download songs for as low as 79 cents, while the going market rate is 99 cents. Hundreds of pictures and video images of December's tsunami have been documented its destruction.
Coming up, a UNC student gives us a closer look at the emotional toll it's taken.
I helped turn my child's public school into a whole new kind of school. One with a curriculum that really motivates kids. One that has extended hours, 6 days a week, year-round. With loads of academic, cultural, and recreational activities. One that has support services, like medical and dental right there. A school where parents' involvement is encouraged. Where teachers have more time to teach. And students are excited about learning. There's just one problem. My child doesn't ever want to come home. You can help turn your school into a community school for excellence. Find out how. Call 1-877-LOVE-TO-LEARN.
We've all seen the stories of celebrities who survived the tsunami and those who didn't.
But one UNC student saw the devastation firsthand and says it wasn't just the famous who felt the water's wrath. Carolina Week Nora Warren has a story.
Sophomore Noelle Salas went to Thailand for a sunny vacation. What she saw was chaotic devastation.
The streets were completely packed with people and cars, and it flooded, you know, it came up to like your knees. And
Just 2 hours before the massive tsunami of December 26th hit Thailand's Koh Lanta beach, Salas caught a ferry to the mainland, a trip she says saved her life.
we definitely got very lucky, I guess people would say.
Amid thousands of people searching for lost loved ones and unable to leave the city, she volunteered at the port where survivors poured in off the islands.
We did a lot of taking pictures of people that came off of boats, both alive and dead, to help people find the ones they were looking for.
For many, it's hard to comprehend the number of lives lost in just a matter of minutes. The number of recorded deaths currently totals about 3 times the population of Chapel Hill. Sala says knowing she survived when so many others didn't has been tough.
How did you feel when you got on that plane to come home?
Very guilty. I felt guilty ever since.
Salas wants people to understand her story isn't unique. For her, it was a tragic vacation from which she's now come home. Others no longer have a place to call home. In Chapel Hill, I'm Nora Warren, Carolina Week.
The physical tragedy may be a world away.
But students at UNC say they can still make a world of difference. Several campus groups are raising money for relief. The Muslim Student Association has raised more than $300 from their bake sales in the pit. Even a campus coffee shop is getting involved in the cause. The Daily Grind will donate $1 for every pound of coffee sold. Event coordinator Sunye Shah says every little bit helps.
As little as we can do here at UNC and the Triangle area, it is going to still make a big impact on what happens over there. So,
Want to know how you can help the relief effort? Check out our website at carolinaweek.org for a complete calendar of fundraising events.
Some UNC students are reaching out to mental health patients in Orange County. Students make up roughly 30% of a program called Compeer, run by the Mental Health Association of Orange County. Compeer coordinates friendships between trained volunteers and patients being treated for mental illness. The program has won multiple awards for the sense of security and trust it affords patients through friendship. Volunteers and patients agree that Compeer truly changes lives.
For the second time this school year, there's a meningitis scare at UNC. Students are leaving Morrison Dorm these days knowing one of their neighbors has meningococcal meningitis. Student Health Medical Director Mary Covington says she's worried that another case might develop, but stresses how rare these cases are.
I've inquired to people who've worked here a long time, and no one can recall ever having 2 cases in 1 year. Most of them have been sporadic and separated by many, many, many years.
Student health officials are urging students who had close contact with the infected student to receive the free preventative antibiotic. They also encourage students to wash their hands thoroughly and avoid eating and drinking after others.
The semester has begun, and finding the perfect place to study is key.
That's so true, but that's not the only reason people are heading to Wilson Library. The Southern Historical Collection's latest display in Wilson is now open to the public. It's likely the world's largest collection of manuscript material documenting the American South, with photographs, handwritten letters like this one that you'll see here in a moment, and even some family scrapbooks. There are also 3,500 taped oral interviews in the collection, which you can sit and listen to. The exhibition will be open through the end of March.
Some say she's notorious. Others say she's a rebel with a cause. Civil rights activist Angela Davis stepped out of the history books and onto the stage Monday night at Duke University. In celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Davis talked about racism in the 21st century and discussed what the prominent civil rights leader would say about America today.
That we want a democracy that does not spawn terror and war. We want a democracy that does not need enemies for its very sustenance.
Davis currently teaches at the University of Santa Cruz. Several organizations are preparing to host a variety of free programs and cultural activities to honor the accomplishments and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Scores of people gathered Friday at the Public Works Department, 7th annual celebration of the civil rights leader. The program opened with a prayer and scripture reading, followed by entertainment from Ebony Dancers, a group of local girls. The celebration continued with the gospel ensemble singing hymns and concluded with everyone singing the National Negro Hymn. Chapel Hill Police Department's Valerie Fouchy was the keynote speaker. She enjoyed having the opportunity to speak to such a diverse group of individuals.
town employees can come together without fear to honor a great American and have everybody be a part of it. Blacks, whites, old, young, you name it, we're all here.
UNC will hold a candlelight vigil and procession in memory of Dr. King Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Well, it's only January, but students are already thinking about March.
That's right. UNC students are just back from winter break, but many people are rushing to plan the next getaway, spring break. STA Travel, located on Franklin Street, gets most of its spring break business during January. Representatives for STA help students choose from destinations around the world. Katie Polonsky and her friends are hoping to go on a cruise to Mexico. STA offers numerous deals for late planners and cost savers, so it's not too late to start making your plans.
Well, Courtney Robinson joins us now.
Hi, how are you?
Courtney, it has been so cold outside lately.
I know, you really couldn't have said it better, and I'm sure you both can attest, if you're outside without gloves and a hat on,
It's absolutely freezing.
Yeah, exactly. So as you can see from the video that we're getting ready to show you, snow today blanketed the campus, and as the winter weather rolled in, and it forced students to bundle up as they trekked to class. When we return, I'll have your Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
AIDS has killed nearly 6 million children worldwide. That's more than every child in every preschool, grade school, and high school in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Washington, Atlanta, and Miami combined. The time to do something is now. The place is apathyisLethal.org.
Hi, and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Courtney Robinson, filling in for weathercaster Meredith Croak, who couldn't make it here because, as you guessed it, the snow has kept her off the roads too. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather headlines. Sunny skies are looking to be in our forecast, but that sun is going to give way to some really, really chilly nights. So go ahead and layer on those extra blankets and turn up the heat. Now, if you thought the conditions that we saw on Wednesday were over, you thought wrong. We're going to see some rainy, snowy mix on Saturday. Going ahead and taking a look at our satellite map, we see that some of the clouds that we see right here were associated with the snow that we saw on Wednesday. This system has moved on. That's the good news, bringing us some beautiful blue skies. The bad news is that what we can see on the surface map is what we're going to be watching for this weekend. The low pressure system moving down from Canada to the southeastern United States is going to bring some rainy, snowy mix. So very wet weather, and right now it looks like this rain, it'll start out at rain, then settle into snow by Saturday evening. Again, really not the time to be on those roads Saturday. Probably just best to stay in and enjoy the company of your family and some television probably. The Carolina Week 4-day forecast is showing us some really chilly temperatures. Highs in the 40s, lows in the 20s and 30s, and the sun's going to peek out for us here on Friday and again on Monday. Joe and Lydia, if you thought today was cold, Saturday is not going to be your favorite day because it's going to have that rainy, snowy mix. And again, just don't go out on those roads. Stay inside and drink that hot chocolate. Now, if you're heading to the beach this weekend, it's really not that time to be hitting the coast. You'll be seeing rain and highs in the 40s, lows in the 30s. So just maybe if you want, you can just head on to the mountains where you'll be hitting the jackpot. We'll have highs in the 30s, lows in the 20s, cooling off there on Sunday, but great conditions to hit the slopes. We'll have some snow, and of course, North Carolina slopes do need that snow. Appalachian has a solid base and 5 of their 9 trails are open. Sugar has half of their slopes open with frozen granular conditions. Ski Beach, perfect powder. If you love to ski, then Ski Beach might be the place for you. It also has 7 trails open. I sure would love to be at the mountains for a ski trip this weekend. I don't know about you guys.
Looks like the beach is not the place to go, but it should be great for skiers.
Yeah,
I think I'm definitely going to try and organize a trip to try go up to Boone and try out some of those slopes.
I know.
Definitely.
I love skiing, and so I was thinking about going up there this weekend, but I'm nervous that I might get snowed in and I wouldn't make it back on time.
That's right.
So.
I was worried for a while there we wouldn't get to go skiing at all with all the warm weather we were having.
Well, I was out on the West Coast for Christmas, and it was just no precipitation, and back here is snowing, so I'm definitely going to hit up those slopes at some point this year.
Holding down the East Coast. Thank you very much,
Yes,
Courtney.
no problem.
And Sexton.
It's been up and down, but with the holiday season between basketball doing really well at first and then the Continental Tire Bowl.
Yeah, I went to the Tire Bowl and we didn't quite pull it out there. I was a little disappointed.
It was very disappointing, but football season's over. Hopefully they'll be able to rest and look forward to the spring season, you know, warm up a little bit for them. But basketball, we have a lot of action happening. So coming up on Carolina Week Sports, after dismantling Georgia Tech, the Tar Heel bandwagon was at capacity for the first time in years. But would the Heels fall asleep at the wheel against fourth-ranked Wake Forest? We'll let you know when Carolina Week Sports returns.
Come on, boy. Come on. What do you got there, Yogi? Huh? What have you found? What do you got, little fella? Drop it. Looks like someone's butt. Man, they probably lost it playing with their kids. Hey, leave it. Come on. Come on.
Mr. and Mrs. Jones, Sally's having some behavioral problems.
I guess that reward system isn't working.
Well, the timeouts weren't either.
Well, you're just too lenient.
Well, you're too strict.
No, you are.
Oh, you are.
Where can adults go for ideas when they feel as frustrated as kids? ConnectForKids.org, guidance for grown-ups.
Next trip to the store, look for products made from recycled materials, then buy them.
Call 1-800-2-RECYCLE for your free Buy Recycled shopping guide.
Welcome back to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Ann Sexton. It may be cold and snowy outside, but inside we're hot, sultry, and ready to give you the lowdown on Carolina sports. The men's basketball team has been hammering teams of late in the cozy confines of the Smith Center, but it found the road to fourth-ranked Wake Forest a little bumpier. Wake Forest came revved and ready for the Heels as preseason player of the year Chris Paul won the battle of all ACC point guards. Senior Jawad Williams came out firing, but foul trouble, including this puzzling double foul on Rashad McCants and Trent Strickland, soon put the Heels on ice. The Deacons buried the Tar Heels from behind the foul line, making, get this, 32 of 32. But with Felton still hurting and McCants in foul trouble most of the second half, Wake Forest was able to hang on and hand UNC its first loss in 14 games. Coach Roy Williams says the Tar Heels just couldn't manage to build any momentum against the Deacs.
The way you make runs is that you are able to score, and then you got to get some stops. And part of getting stops, if you foul them, they've got to help you a little bit miss free throws. And we didn't get stops, and when we did foul them, they made their free throws.
While the men's team has been roughing it in ACC play, the Lady Tar Heels, well, looks like they started some conference action against Miami on Sunday afternoon with their own little welcome wagons, point guard Ivory Lotta and number 20 Camille Little, who held the nation's leading scorer, Tamyra James, completely scoreless in the first half. Lotta controlled the offensive attack with 13 straight points and helped pull the Heels ahead of the Canes 45-20 at halftime. And the second half was no different. UNC's total domination of the ball kept Miami at bay, and the Heels stormed away with an 83-52 win. Lotta said it was a total team effort that helped her score big in this first ACC victory.
All that goes to my teammates. They was just finding me, and like I was just spotting up. That's what they was telling me, to spot up, and they was doing a great job of finding me. Wonderful teammates, I tell you.
With her 23 points against State on Friday and 15 against Miami on Monday, center Erlana Larkins was named ACC Rookie of the Week for the second time this season. Larkins' skills will come in handy in Thursday's matchup against FSU, which has last week's Rookie of the Week, Ronika Hodges, on the roster. Well, when I think of winter, two words come to mind: women's tennis. The 15th ranked Tar Heels kicked off the 2005 season on Saturday with a day-night doubleheader in Chapel Hill. The Heels dismissed Davidson with extreme prejudice in the early match 6-1. The Heels won all 3 doubles matches and 5 of the 6 singles matches.
The UNC Greensboro Spartans took their turn behind the woodshed in the nightcap. The Heels were so dominant, the Spartans apparently forgot the point of the game is to hit the ball, not to get hit by it. The Heels swept the 3 doubles matches again. 26th ranked Aniela Mojish made sure her singles opponents got a little exercise before they had to walk back to the bus. And not even the Spartans' dreaded underhand serve could stop the Heels, who swept all 6 singles matches in straight sets. The men's and women's swim teams continue the Heels' Olympic sport domination. Both teams are ranked in the top 25 in the nation, and both are undefeated in the ACC. Action continued today as the Heels took on Johns Hopkins in non-conference action. The Heels' next ACC meet is with nationally ranked Virginia on Saturday in Chapel Hill. Well, I went to the game against Miami on Monday. I saw Nikita Bell score her 1,000th point for her career, which is huge.
It is. It seems like maybe the guys should take a lesson from the women on
Definitely,
Wednesday night's game.
I totally agree.
All right.
Well, hopefully our gentlemen can do well this week when we have a couple upcoming games.
That's true.
So we'll see how they do. Well, thank you very much, Ann. Well, it's a phenomenon that's sweeping campuses across the nation.
Face it, it's procrastination at its finest. Have you logged on?
"200 years ago, Lewis and Clark set out to discover an all-water route to the Pacific. But what they really discovered were 58 hospitable nations who could have ended their journey at any time, but saved it instead. As we commemorate their bicentennial, we invite you to walk with them at lewisandclark200.org and see what you discover, because their trail winds through us all."
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Well, it's something that we've all been addicted to at some point or another.
The hot new cyber social network, the Facebook, has many Carolina students poking about. Before we drafted her for our weather forecast, reporter Courtney Robinson, took a look.
The new phenomenon is sweeping campuses across the nation, a way to keep in touch with old friends and make new ones.
I am a Facebook user, not abuser.
But with almost 400 friends, it's clear junior Claire Berngart is hooked.
I've gotten back in touch with some people I had lost touch with and actually have talked to them via messaging on the Facebook.
Facebook offers students features like messaging and...
Ooh, I got poked.
Poking is one feature that no one, not even the folks who started it, can describe.
I enjoy the poke, I have to admit it. Nobody really knows what it is, but it seems like you get poked from people that you aren't even friends with.
Email might not be obsolete yet, but Berngart says it best.
But you never know, the Facebook is a worldwide phenomenon.
Berngart says she hopes to continue to make and find friends on this new cyber network. In Chapel Hill, I'm Courtney Robinson, Carolina Week.
That is definitely another way to procrastinate. Being from Alabama, I'm able to keep in touch with folks from everywhere.
Exactly. I know, and I know that all 3 of you are on Facebook because I found you when I was doing this story.
That we are. I saw you searching my name, and as I was searching, I had a message one day from a Scott Mott up in New Jersey. And I don't know of any Motts up in New Jersey, so it's kind of interesting to meet up with old people like that.
Exactly.
And I know you're on Facebook.
I am on Facebook. I need to update my my profile though. It's been a while. I didn't do anything over break.
That's right. A new way not to do homework. You can just update your profile.
Well, if you're thinking about, or if you're thinking, maybe I'm going to get on the roads this weekend, you just get on Facebook instead and stay home.
Sounds good.
That's right.
Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Have a good night.